Tonight I'm going to do a little bit of tuning up on my sawmill. I'll bring it real quick through it, and then I'll show you what I'm doing. So this is the carriage, right? Carriage. This part of the carriage is the head. The head goes up and down on the carriage, and the carriage rolls on a track on these wheels. And the wheels, or the track is outside. The track is actually a trailer. It's a mobile saw unit. There's the blade, cuts through the log, you put the log on the track, and then you roll this down and you cut your planks. Right now, I have one blade guide here, and the other one actually twisted. So if you can see right there, this square tube is a little too big for this square tube. So this is right here. I'll take my glasses off and I'll show you. You're looking at that. So the goal tonight is to cut that out and put a smaller square tube in so I can fit, it'll be a tighter fit. I don't have to worry about the blade grabbing it and twisting it. On whatever the rated value is, the max value. I think it was 40 pounds, I don't remember. But here's my adjustment, right? This is in and out, there's my hinge. This is how I loosen and tighten the blade. This actually slides on top of this rail here, right? So this is like hitch material, and this is just square tubing, right? Here's my blade engagement. Right now the wire is broke, so I'm not, how I was running it is I just grab onto here and then I pull. Alright, that activates the clutch or the pulley, right? And then as the engine's running, when this is pulled, and then I push down, I grab onto here and I push down the track. Yeah, it's not the safest way, but I got my last few planks cut, so good enough. And then we got more hitch material here, and then the 2-inch square tube, right? And this whole thing is all connected all the way down, and it slides up and down on these 2-inch tubes, right? This is actually a ruler to tell you, well, it doesn't really, you can measure, there's a scratch here somewhere. You can measure if you go up an inch or not, but I found it easier just to measure the log. So I actually measure the log for every inch that I move. So to see how this goes, here's my pulley system. Up there, over there, down there. Hasn't been used in a few months, so it's a little, it drops, right? A little archaic, but it gets the job done, right? People ask how well does it cut. It cuts good enough to go through a planer. My blade cooling mechanism is this here. It used to be diesel and oil. That's what I used, but I found, I don't know, it stained the wood, and then I had to go get diesel and oil. So I switched over to water and started using water. So this has got to get all cleaned out because it's plugged in there somewhere. So what I did is I milled out a slot, and I put like furniture pads in there, and then there's a hole coming through here into a hole in the furniture pad. But right now it's plugged, so I got to take it apart, and that's just taken apart by these two bolts, top and bottom. Right? Clean it all up. Here's the bearings. They're just bolted to a plate, right? And then this slides in and out like this. It would be over here though, because I'm all set up with the plasma, and what we're going to do is just blow this housing out of here. We're going to blow that out of there and leave a corner of it so I can put in the new housing. The new housing is going to be smaller. there is the housing for my housing, smaller housing. So we'll slip this up in here. Alright, so the goal is to weld that right in there, because that housing was already solid. This, I just got to make sure it's straight. I drilled a couple holes, half-inch holes for some half-inch bolts. These are going to go in here like this. I'm going to weld the nut there. So I got this bolt going to go tighten against the square tubing that's going to go in there, or square stock. Alright, let's go see where it's going to fit. I'll stuff it up there, forget it's hot, and then burn my fingers. Okay, so it's going to go right up into there, and it's going to face this way. The bolts are going to go in so I can drop that centerpiece. Right? That's going to go up in there. Did the welding, and the file got corrupted. I'm not sure how or why, but this is what it looks like now. This is the new tube right here. Here's our bolts to keep the square stock from sliding up and down. More square stock, more bolts, sliding in and out. On the other side is where our blade is. What we got, something like this. We just did this one here. It looks a little close to that up and down, but it works. Right, I just got to attach the cooling line. Right, brand new blade right there. Okay, we'll see what it looks like when we spin the pulley in this way. Well, it spins pretty decent. Can't wait to fire it up.